Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. It's Dr. Shani, and today I want to talk about something that exists in higher education but rarely gets said out loud. Not all toxicity comes from students or the administration. Sometimes it comes from your colleagues, faculty who are intelligent on paper but emotionally immature in practice, faculty who love chaos more than collaboration, faculty who smile at you in the hallway and undermine you in the next meeting. Today, I want to talk about messy colleagues in academia and how to protect your peace without losing your professionalism. So let's name the behavior. Messy academic colleagues don't just gossip, they destabilize environments. They often position themselves as concerned while actively spreading mess and gossip. They pretend to be allies but collect your business as currency. They smile publicly while stirring conflict privately and sipping their tea. They project insecurity as superiority. They create factions, this group versus that group, in departments, and they thrive in dysfunction because peace threatens their stability. So some of them have titles and some of them are seasoned. Some of them call themselves leaders. But we all know that leadership without maturity is simply chaos dressed up as professionalism. So let's be honest about the impact because these behaviors do have an impact on you as a faculty member. It isn't harmless. Messy colleagues can damage reputations, isolate faculty, undermine confidence, create hostile and toxic work environments, and derail meaningful work. Why do they derail meaningful work? Because you're spending so much time caught up in this silly nonsense in the office that the real work isn't being done. I'm just saying this because too many faculty are told ignore that colleague. That's just how they are. Be civil. That's my least favorite one. Be civil. Be the bigger person. Well, no, actually, being quiet doesn't help you. It actually harms you. It actually protects the dysfunctional environment. So let's give some specific examples. For example, you may be a faculty member at your university, and let's say you share something that's very private to you. Let's say you talk about a family issue. Let's say you share a health issue. Or let's say you really had a difficult semester. Maybe there were some things going on. And that you share this with your colleague in confidence, just really talking colleague to colleague. The next thing you know, it is departmental, college, higher administrative level information. Your vulnerability in sharing became gossip material, and that individual just didn't hold the information. They performed concern while circulating your business like entertainment. That is not collegiality. That is not kind. That is actual emotional exploitation. Let's give another very specific example. You notice your work, your projects, and your ideas suddenly become inspiration material for people. These topics and ideas that you've just casually mentioned in conversation are now being brought up at faculty meetings. You recognize that people are following you on social media, they're watching your videos, they follow your work and study your voice. They know things that are happening in your life, particularly with your publication records and things that you are doing. And they are trailing you, not to support you, not to cheer you on, but to replicate your energy while pretending they discovered these ideas on their own. They don't want collaboration. They just want proximity to your brilliance without giving you credit. And this happens a lot to Black women. Let's call it for what it is. It's manipulative, it's performative, and it is very messy. So here's the truth. People who are insecure in themselves, they often need to control narratives. But secure people do not need to control narratives. They don't create chaos. They don't compete constantly. They don't undermine others to feel relevant. They don't attach themselves to your light to feel seen. Messiness is rarely about you. It is really about your colleagues and their insecurity, their jealousy, their sense of inadequacy, and their discomfort with your peace, your clarity, and your confidence. And once you, my friend, understand that, You will stop internalizing their behavior. You'll just say, it's an ordinary Tuesday for Bud over there. It's an ordinary Wednesday for Wendy over there, you know? So once you understand that this is their pattern and this is really about their insecurity with themselves, you will stop shrinking and you will stop apologizing for existing, and you will just keep calm and carry on. So here's how you protect yourself in an academic environment. Don't play with them. You heard it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with them. You can be polite. You can be professional, but you do not have to be accessible to these individuals who are bringing harm to you. Access is something they will need to earn. Keep conversations transactional. These individuals are not your friends. Sometimes you can try to reset dynamics. Like, you know what, it's a new academic year. We're coming back from the fall. We're coming back from the spring. Let's reset this dynamic. And you can try to engage, but sure enough, probably within that third or fourth week, you're going to notice that shadiness. Why? Because it's that person's pattern. So keep the conversations transactional. Once people show you who they are, stop trying to reset the dynamic. That's just who they are. So people who twist words don't deserve your depth. Discuss work only. Discuss policy. Discuss tasks, not your personal life. It's okay to say, yeah, the family's good. Everybody's great. Yep. Joe is great. Yep. Sharon is great, and move on. Document everything. If their behavior crosses the line, don't argue. Don't debate. Just document facts. When, where, why, how, what time. Okay? Facts protect your peace. And build your own circle. You need to have a diverse professional circle, okay? So stop trying to win people over who are committed to misunderstanding you. Find calm people, rational people, logical people, healthy people who like stability, not storms. Stay excellent. Your work is your witness. Your peace is your protest. And your consistency is your credibility, because when it comes time for promotion, you're going to lead with facts and evidence. Yeah, I got these publications, these speaking opportunities. I've been doing the work while teaching, while, doing my research. And what have they been doing? Playing hallway politics, hallway games. And you don't have time for that. So let them be loud. Let them be dramatic. Let them do all the hallway politicking, all of that particular politicking. You don't have to do all of that. Let them need that attention from other people. You don't have to do all of that. You produce with your results. And finally, remember who you are. You are not hired to be the entertainer for bored faculty who actually should be in their offices doing work, mentoring students, advising students. It's not your bag. You weren't hired to do that. You were hired to be an academician. You were hired to teach, to serve, to innovate, to transform, and to lead with dignity. You are not called to shrink so someone else can feel better about themselves. You are not called to fight all of these grown adult fights with people who need to heal and assess their own trauma. Yeah, they may talk about trauma, being trauma informed, but do they actually do the work? Oftentimes with their messy colleague, they aren't doing any of that work. So you do the work that is required of you, and you can do all these things to protect yourself. And the most important thing you need to take away is, if you see messy behavior, don't become like that messy person just to survive in academia. You can still choose the high road. So if you are navigating messy colleagues in academia, it's real. You aren't imagining it. I've worked at HBCUs, community college, at the community college level, at predominantly white institutions, and all of it kind of goes back to institutional culture, even in non-academic environments, and you will still have this same type of stuff come up with colleagues. It's not that you're imagining it. It's not that you are overreacting, and it is not that you are the problem. You are just someone who values peace in spaces that sometimes thrive on dysfunction. Protect your name, protect your energy, protect your purpose, and never ever apologize for choosing emotional maturity in workplaces that normalize chaos. If this video resonated with you, please leave me a comment and let's keep this conversation going. Please give this video a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, be safe and blessed.